Start recording. Well, I shouldn't have hit record. I could just hit. Hold on, y'all. What's going on? Yo, you on the line, Will?
I thought you was. I can't be.
No, ain't nobody on it. That's why I asked. No, I say I asked because ain't nobody on it. You could call it because I just text you and asked her that. If she gonna use that or you, because if not, I ain't even gonna call it. Because I already put in there that it was gonna be live. So on the stream would start at 8:35. So I'm like, if it's gonna start at 8:35, I don't think a lot of them gonna actually get on it. If they know they can watch it versus get on the versus they'll just deal with the stream versus calling the phone. Which I ain't got no problem with that. I got no problem with that at all. I just know this thing ain't recording right now. I know I don't have to hit record. I gotta get with Brother Michael, see if he can help me figure out how to snatch that video off Ustream from last Friday, that first half. So we can get that out on the street. You know what I'm saying? But man, I done heard some disturbing stuff, man. Stuff is sad, man. I'll talk to you about it though. I'll talk to you about it, man. I ain't finna put it out here in the open though. I mean, I'll talk to you about it. I ain't finna put it out in the open though. No, I mean, I talked to Andre, but I mean, shoot, I heard something more disturbing for that though. You know, it was something else. You know what I'm saying?
In-house or out-of-house?
Outhouse. Outhouse, man. Borderline, I ain't gonna say all the way in-house, but all the way outhouse, but somebody, man, these niggas wilding out here, man. All this stuff is wilding. But I'll say this here though, right? Because I had mentioned this yesterday, last night while I was thinking about it because it agitated me. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand how people sit back and say that they teachers of the word, the men of Elohim, and can take the word and injure people with it. I don't understand that. I don't understand it at all. I really don't. Nevertheless, praise Yah in the name of Yahushua for the Shabbat. Yah knows I need to go to sleep. But you know, I had talked to your wife about this. She asked me about this one time, Will. Contrary to popular belief, the Shabbat is not about sleeping all day. I don't know where people got that from, but that's not really what it's about. He tells you what the Shabbat is about. Like when the people read that refresh, and they automatically think that refresh is talking about you sleeping well, when it was referring, I'm talking about Exodus 31. But when we're talking about, in actuality, the Master's resurrection. So you're supposed to be looking at the Shabbat as regenerating spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Say he rested upon the seventh day and he was refreshed or renewed. You know, Ephesians chapter 4 tell you to, renew your mind. Put off the old man with his corrupt deeds and renew your mind. You know what I'm saying? So when you're looking at the Shabbat coming around, it's supposed to be in a renewal of the mind. Well, how would you be able to renew your mind? Well, you would be resting in his word. That's what it was all about. Because what did he command you to do on the Shabbat? But have a set apart gathering. So to recharge and renew your mind in his word. Not to sit around and just I'm sleeping and I'm not doing nothing, or I'm just not going to work. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. So, I just want you to just sit back and think about it, because I can understand that. Because I talked to a brother today. Cool dude, good dude in my estimation. Always felt that way from the time that I had first encountered the gentleman. You know what I'm saying? And he was telling me like it was a lot of things that at a previous time that a lot of Hebrews argue about or debate about that he was not aware of. He told me today he wasn't even aware that Hebrews debated the word on certain things. He didn't even know that because of the environment that he was in and the culture that was fostered in it. You know what I'm saying? And and he was coming out of a situation where people were being injured. He himself included in that. You know what I'm saying? And that stuff ain't cool. And I said all that to say this here. Like I know Brother Tony could tell y'all something, and Brother Tony on here right now. He could tell y'all something about his experiences dealing with a particular congregation in Tennessee and how they were handling people. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, cause I know some people might feel like I'm this and I'm that, but I'm talking about, boy, it's niggas out here getting done wrong. You might not like what I say. You might not even like a stance that I take. You know what I'm saying? But boy, niggas is out here doing people wrong. You know what I'm talking about? Like really doing them wrong. And you really get an understanding of that unless you experienced it firsthand or if somebody came and told you the stuff that people be doing. You know what I'm saying? Some of this stuff you wouldn't even believe. Some of this stuff, that stuff just sad. You know what I'm saying? It's just sad. And it's not sad for me because of the individual who's doing it, because he will have to take a recompense for it. You know what I'm saying? But for the people. See, it's one thing if the people do something and you show the word and you shame them for ungodly behavior. I'm talking about ungodly behavior. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Because, like I said, right, I might go in, but it's only going to be on something that, okay, that ain't right. You know what I mean? Fourth is what we may do or may not do. You know what I'm saying? But like belittling people, trying to wither away at people's confidence, lying on niggas, you know what I'm saying? Using people, manipulating people for whatever it is that you try. I'm not on that. You know what I'm saying? Trying to have total control on people's lives. I'm not on that. You know what I'm saying? I done told y'all before. I don't care what y'all do. But I do care what you do. Meaning, I care what you do is that I would not want you to do anything that is not wise or would cost you your soul. But I don't care enough to pry into your private life and to try to dictate what you do in your household. I don't care that much. I don't need that type of stress. You know what I'm saying? To be all up in somebody's household, trying to dictate this and dictate that. All I can tell you is what the words say, or if you ask my opinion, you know what I'm saying, I'll render it. But you're grown and you can do what you choose to do. You know what I'm saying? I might think that the move you make is stupid, but hey, that's just me. You know what I'm saying? I'm entitled to my opinion. You know what I'm saying? You might be entitled to think I'm stupid. Hey, you're entitled to that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? But like I can't tell nobody what to do in there. You run your house how you want to run it. If it ain't against the word, you know what I'm saying? I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. No, I ain't on that. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. I'm not on that. I know a lot. It's a lot of dudes that it is though. You know what I'm saying? You got dudes saying they the home of the truth, and dudes can't do nothing unless another man tell them. You know what I'm saying? And this might not even have nothing to do with the word, because if it's in the construct of dealing with the word, then you have to follow the organizational structure and fall in line, and that's how that's supposed to be. That's not no issue. But if it ain't got nothing to do with the word, you don't need no grown man tell you what to do. If it's outside the framework of the organization, it's not my place. You know what I'm saying? But if it's inside the framework of the organization, you got to follow orders. I mean, that's in the book. The men followed orders. You know what I'm saying? They moved, and according to the hierarchy of what was set up, that's how they moved. You know what I'm saying? If it was outside of the word, you're grown. I got several things in my head that I want to preach about tonight. I probably won't hit none of them. I might just continue on with what we dealt with Wednesday. I got something that I looked at a couple weeks ago. I promise I want to touch it. It probably won't be today though. I got some things in my head of what I'm talking about right now just based off things that I heard, which were quite disturbing. Which I'm not going to go into great detail, so don't look for it. You know what I'm saying? Just very disturbing. You know what I'm saying? Very, very disturbing. All I can tell you is this. Excuse me, y'all. I done messed up. Collapse. Expand. Go away. Clear all. Collapse. Expand. I don't know what to do to make this go away. Now it went away. Thank you. So, all I'm going to tell y'all is this. We're going to start in probably about 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I know it's buffering pretty slow. All I can tell you is this right here, though. Anybody that do certain things sour to y'all's people, they gonna answer for that. You know what I'm saying? They gonna answer for that. That's all I can tell you. I can't tell you no more than that. They gonna answer for that. Cause well, you can't be doing that, man, people like that, and think you're not gonna answer for that. People can do what they want though. Who am I? Who am I? I ain't nobody. Ain't nobody extra special. I'm just a man. Mr. Charlie's just a man trying to do the best that he can. That's how the song goes. Just gotta be careful out here on these streets, man. There's a lot of people they don't really care nothing about you. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be careful to be able. You got to be able to know the difference between the two. Cause there's a lot of people, man, out here, man. They be doing stuff, man. These people don't really care nothing about you. These people will use the word and injure you in a heartbeat. Have no shame about it. And just, you know what I'm saying, get off. Before I begin, I will say this here. And I'm speaking for me. This ain't necessarily no shots at nobody or none of that. I'm just speaking for me. When we began doing this, I ain't even have no intentions on doing this. So when I say that, I'm saying that for this cause. Like when we started, man, it was just, we would do something on a feast day. It would be me, and I just seen the brother a couple weeks ago. My homeboy Jason, my homeboy Bell, and Lil Muffin, and Nell when she moved back from Tallahassee. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know, we would do a little something. You know, at that time, I would buy the food, cook the food. You know what I'm saying? Serve everybody. And then, you know, drop the word and be done with it. I ain't saying that out of nothing. I just felt that's what it was because they were doing other stuff. And stuff for the feast had to be done. That's what had to be done. That's what I had to do at the time. You know what I'm saying? We would do a little something in the street. You know what I'm saying? But when in 2012, October 2012, that's when we began to, you look on Jesus for True Freedom, that's when we began to actually start putting work on the street. Like, as far as you could go back and reference it, because we had been putting work on the street, but not like that. And it wasn't nobody but me, Muffin, and Nell. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And then as time went on, it ended up being me, Muffin, Nell, Lee, and Glover. You know what I'm saying? And then Dwight. And then, you know, Pell and Tamil. At that time, you know, because we wasn't using no phone or nothing. So, time went on, you know, they came on with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I see that. I see that. You say that stream health is not very good. It's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. I don't really know what to do as far as to make that stream health better. I don't really know what to do about that. So, let me see if that'll help. This will help. I don't know, it's just probably the Wi-Fi, y'all. So, then after that, who was that? Then it was Brittany. You know what I'm saying? And she started sliding through. It's like, now I'm like in like 2013. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, as time went on, a few other people, you know, Nicole and shoot. And then really it was just us. You know what I'm saying? There it is. It was just us. So, you know, other people like, you know, Ray and Chelsea and Kip and BB and, you know, Goldie and, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Troy and Shayla and Will and Dee and Darius and some of other people as they began to expand. But the whole key point, wait, I know Corey and that Tyler, I don't want to forget nobody. And, you know, it's been some people who done came and gone. You know what I'm saying? That's just reality of things. You know what I'm talking about? That's just gonna happen. Some endure for a while. Some for a little while, and you don't see them no more. Okay, got Johnny and his mama. You know, Miss Stephanie. All right, hold on. Yeah, I know nobody wasn't on it. Shoot, I will wait. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Try to get this popping, man.
You can hang up now to avoid the charge. Welcome. This service is... There are 3 participants in the conference. Please announce yourself.
Yo, who all on here?
Here.
And who else?
Yeah, I'm on here.
And the third one. Well, I know who that is. So yeah, you know what I mean? So we just looking at that as a gradual progression. You know what I'm saying, as time went on. So, and then that whole process is now coming up on 4 years. It's been a little over 4 years. It wasn't never no thought process of you think you're better than somebody, or you get like this here because it's a major responsibility. You know, the words say to whom much is given, much is required. You know what I'm saying? To whom much is given, much is required. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at that. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at that. That is a major responsibility. And I was talking to a brother a little while ago, probably not even about an hour or so ago. And I done told y'all this before. A lot of people want to preach the word because before the word, they were nobody. You know what I'm saying? Their self-esteem was low, their confidence was low. They found out they were the seed of Yasharal, and this gave them an opportunity to do something and to make themselves feel like someone. So then they take the word and it elevates them into a position that probably in life they would never have attained to. You know what I'm saying? Never would have attained to it. At all, period. Never. You know what I'm saying? And they use this sense of authority and adulation. You know what I'm saying? And they use that to wield that to smash out on this man's people. You know what I'm saying? To use his people, to manipulate his people, to make merchandise out of his people, to and to reign over the master's heritage harshly. You know, I had told a couple brothers a while back, when he sets you, when he give you certain authority to watch over his people, you have certain things that you can and you can't do as a framework of the congregation is concerned. And I'm not going to go into that right now because I have that on deck, Yahuwah willing, when we look at the 7 synagogues of Asia and look at all of those. And that's probably when I begin to start discussing that right there. But it's a lot of authority as far as the word is concerned that come to that. You know, and the word tell you that we're supposed to submit ourselves to the authority of those that watch for your soul. But see, the thing is, though, is you're not supposed to go for these men are literally, blatantly, openly saying and doing things that are wrong. You know what I'm saying? See, like, because you'll see an example of that. Like when Paul was in the right, but when he disrespected the high priest, it didn't even matter that the high priest was in the wrong. When he was alerted to who he was, he said, "Oh, my bad. Thou shalt not revile the ruler of thy people," because he understood the law. You know what I'm saying? Even though this nigga is wrong and how he's just sized me, that doesn't give me license to disrespect him. I can state that, hey, you wrong, but it doesn't give him license. These men understood. See, it's a lot of things that our people look at in the word as a whole that we don't understand, that we doing now, and we thinking this stuff is copacetic, and this stuff ain't copacetic. You know what I'm saying? Because the same people that we love to rep and mention and scream ain't doing this stuff that these niggas is doing. You know what I mean? Hello? Shalom, man. They ain't doing that, you know what I mean? So I put it to you like this. I just said this the other day. I wasn't being funny though. Niggas laugh, but I wasn't being funny. I was dead serious. Like we were talking about when Beanie Siegel told Charlemagne, "You're not qualified to ask me that question." Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. It is a lot of people who profess to be of the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and you are not qualified to mention the men's names because you're not living like they live, and you're not doing like they did, and you ain't believing like they did. But you're not even qualified to say that you come from that stock. Doesn't even matter if you literally do. You're not even qualified for it because you're not manifesting the works. Like we just dealt with a couple weeks ago. If you were Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham. See, unfortunately, our people don't do the works of Abraham. We do the works of ourselves, claiming to be his children. This is why John the Baptist said, "Don't think that you have Abraham to your father, for Elohim is able to raise up children out of these stones to Abraham." He let you know, that's nothing. What if they want to go contrary to the word? Well, if they want to go contrary to the word, then that's just on them. You know what I'm saying? If they going contrary to the word, you're supposed to get up out of there. You know what I mean? You ain't supposed to even like rock with that at all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just speaking on the sense of how you would go about it. Even if they, because the high priest was going contrary to the word when he had Paul slapped. But he still stood the law well enough to know that even though he's done that, I will not disrespect him. You know what I'm saying? You can make mention of the error without being disrespectful. See, we get the mind of a nigga injure me, nigga do this to me, then I'm going to disrespect him, or I'm going to say this, or I'm going to say that. That's not always the tact to take, because you got to remember what the master did. Those people did him like that, and they were all wrong, and he didn't do that. Because that goes back to 1 Peter 2:21, committing yourself to he who judges righteously, or looking at what Jacob did and letting your righteousness prove you out. That you don't necessarily have to do that. But it's just saying, though, if there's something that is wrong, you can speak on it. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, or the matter is, if you say something wrong, You better have a book to back it and not your personal feelings or opinions. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people be like this here, and that's just how you feel. You don't really have no book for that. That's just how you feel. You know what I'm saying? How you feel doesn't mean anything. See, we were talking about this Wednesday. You have to realize every decision that you make, if you're dealing in a certain thing, it affects other people. If you're affiliated or attached to other people. I don't think a lot of times, men or women, no matter the situation and circumstance that they in, you talking about the government and the police, that's different. I'm talking about with the word, Brother Harrison. I'm talking about with the word. A lot of times people see preachers do people a certain way or certain things are going on and they don't say nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? They'll just sit there and turn an eye to it. They won't say nothing about it. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying that the government and the police are doing something wrong. By all means, let them have it. But it also tells you to give honor or respect to whom respect is due. It's still a way to go about it. You know, Daniel checked Nebuchadnezzar without being disrespectful. There's a way that you could still check these people and call them out for what they got going on without being disrespectful. You know, the master wasn't disrespectful to Herod when he seen him. Because the reason being, this is the point that y'all be missing. This is the point you got to sit back and realize in every move that you make. The reason being is these people are looking to have room to blaspheme the word of your Elohim. And you can't give them room to do it. Because they look for any reason to do it. I think that's what we be missing. And don't be realizing that these people looking to say something. Don't give them room to say nothing. From the littlest to the smallest thing. It's like one of the examples when Paul stated, it's not expedient for me to do this particular matter. I could, but it's not good for me to do it, so I'm not. Because I know this could cause this to happen. Or it could cause this person to stumble. So I'm not going to do that because I'm more concerned about their soul being saved on actually than what I actually can go do. You know what I'm saying? That was his concern. And that's how you had to sit back and look at stuff. Is everything that we do can affect another human being. No problem. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we do can affect another human being. And if something that you do can affect another human being, whether it's your wife, your husband, your son, your daughter, your friend, your mama, your daddy, another believer in the word, somebody who's watching you, whatever, co-worker, whatever, employee, don't make no difference. You know what I'm saying? You have to realize that. Don't want to mess around and blood be on your hands. You know, I was talking about this here, since I say the blood being on your hands, because I know Hebrews love to mention this. Don't y'all be around here, man, running around telling people you ain't going to have no blood on your hands and you not a watchman. Because watchmen are preachers of the word. We're talking about Ezekiel chapter 3. If you're not a watchman, that ain't got nothing to do with you. What would actually have something to do with you is Leviticus 19, where he say, rebuke thy neighbor and don't suffer no sin upon him. So if you see your brother doing something that ain't right, and you don't correct him, and you allow sin to fall on him, that's when you in trouble. It's just a difference. You know what I'm saying? See, when he was speaking to Ezekiel, he was talking to people who preached. But Leviticus 19, that's for everybody. That if you see somebody doing something wrong, that man say you need to correct your brother and don't allow sin to be on him. So if you don't do it, you just sin yourself. See, that's how he made that separation, because a preacher's supposed to warn the people that the sword is coming or that the wrath of Elohim is coming, and they ought to repent, and they ought to turn from their evil and wicked ways and submit and serve the true and living Elohim and Shamahim, whose name is Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? But if you see your brother, he who's supposed to be doing the will of Elohim, doing something sideways or crooked, you see that, the law says you're supposed to rebuke this man, to not allow sin to come upon him. So if you don't rebuke this man, you just sin. Because you saw that And you didn't keep. See, that's the fun. Because dudes love to screen the Torah while it's convenient for them. But a lot of dudes don't really sit back and keep. They nowhere in the world you see somebody do something wrong, you don't say nothing to them. Does that mean you got to say something to them every single time? Absolutely not. If I done told you one, I told you twice. I ain't got to keep telling you. You already know it's wrong. Now at this point, you just willfully sinning. You just willfully doing what you desire to do. May y'all judge you as he see fit. That's how I look at it. I ain't finna keep telling you. Let y'all do what he see fit. That's how I see it. But praise the Lamb. Let me get me some juice. And after I get me some juice, we're going to pray. And we're going to put this work out here on these streets. I had a VA splash the first time. Gonna drink some apple juice this time. Everybody all right? How everybody feel? For sure. Praise the Lamb. Praise the Lamb. I'm telling y'all right now, we gonna be at what it is. One, let somebody finna die. Yeah, we on the Riverside. Let somebody finna die. Don't call my phone till 12:30. Cause I'm gonna be highly upset. You know what I'm saying? It's on 2875 Park Street where we're gonna be at, Willow Branch. Cause I'm very, very exhausted. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be highly upset. Please don't call my phone. Text my phone about nothing less than life or death. I'll let you determine what life or death is. I can't determine that. But if it ain't life or death, I'm gonna tell you that I'm gonna write you a stern text message or letter or email about you waking me up out of my sleep. Cause I want to go to sleep right now. Praise the Lamb that I'm even still woke, or that I even drove on these people's streets in such a high level of exhaustion. Let us pray. Righteous Father Yahuwah, we thank you for thy mercies, thy goodness, thy salvation, thy truth, and another opportunity to refresh ourselves in our Kadesh Shabbat. We ask you to look upon this people whom you have named Yasharal to the Yahudim first and also to the heathen, all those that walk before thee in Ruach and in truth and who serve thee in righteousness. Let thy mercies be upon them. Remember all the synagogues and assemblies of Yahuwah in the four corners of the earth. Let them gather together perfect in one in the beauty of Kadosh. That they might rejoice in thy Son, rejoice in thy word, and rejoice in thy truth. That they might be converted to the image of the living Elohim to become the sons of Elohim. Remember the hosts and the Shamanim and apostles and prophets that paved the way of the faith and send laborers into the harvest, for the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. That the word which you covenanted with our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, might be fulfilled. That our hearts might be humbled. That our hearts might be circumcised. That we might put off the body of sins, that old man, and serve thee in righteousness and in truth. That you might be our Elohim and we might be thy people. Remember Jerusalem and gather us and bring us into that place. Let us sing hallelujah of hosts, for Yahuwah's goodness, mercy endures forever. Let our children run in our streets. Let us stand before thee in the land where our fathers dwell, to see thy face and to praise thee, that the curse might be removed and we might be with thee forevermore. Remember, assembly of the firstborn individually and collectively, let the love of Hamashiach dwell in our hearts by faith. Guide us and lead us according to the truth. Guide us and lead us according to thy mercies. Let us no longer seek after our own heart and our own way. Let us not be converted to the ways of this world. Let us not be converted to our own thoughts and our own mind and our own flesh to our own destruction. But let us put those things to the side, putting off that body, putting off that mind, and let us bring every thought into captivity of Mashiach, that we might be quickened to be made into a perfect man, to rest in our presence forever. Father, as we proceed further, we ask thee for a word from on high, word of truth and righteousness to come to us, that we may know him that is true, that we are in him that is true, even our son Yahushua HaMashiach. This is a true Elohim and eternal life. Father, we give praise, esteem, and honor to the Most High Yahuwah by Hashem Yahushua this day. So be it. Y'all know what it is. John 5:39. Hold on, I gotta start recording. Bam. Hold on, y'all. I think it was recording the whole time. Okay. All right then. So, we give praise, esteem, and honor to the Most High Yahuwah by Hashem Yahushua this day. John 5:39. After John 5:39, 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 1. John chapter 1 Peter 5 and 1 after John 5 and 39. Praise Yahuwah for the word. Let's see what it says. And it says, search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me, that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one of another, and seek not the honor that comes from Elohim only? So 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 1. I mean, you just got to put them. You got to put those thoughts out your head. Honestly, 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 1. I want y'all to look at something based off of something I just was talking about. 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 1. After we look at 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 1, 1 Kings chapter 12 verse 3 or 4, I should say. The elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of Mashiach, and also a partaker of the esteem that should be revealed. So we know that Peter is telling you that he is a pastor. This is what he's telling you. Feed the flock of Elohim which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. Before we proceed any further, Ezekiel chapter 34. He said, if you're going to feed the flock of Elohim, taking the oversight, not by constraint, but willingly, and not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. Hold on, y'all. Just hold on 1 second. And there's a reason why this here, because just a conversation I just had. So this is why I'm looking at this here, right? So when you sit back and you talk about not by constraint, when we look at constraint, it's by force. You know what I'm saying? So, but willingly. So hold on. Of one's own accord, you voluntarily choose to do this. You know what I'm saying? You voluntarily choose to do this. So you're not, basically, hold on, because there's something else with this here. That I'm trying to think. I gotta pull my book out so I can recall what I said. Before we go to Ezekiel chapter 34, Romans chapter 12. He say, not by constraint, not by force. Don't force yourself into a spot you don't fit in. Because you might force yourself in a spot you don't fit in, and you don't qualify for the spot you're trying to fit yourself in. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something, right? Ain't nothing wrong with wanting to feed y'all's people. Ain't nothing wrong with it at all. But if it ain't your job, it ain't your job. And if it ain't your time, it ain't your time. Romans chapter 12, verse 5. Romans chapter 12, verse 4. Matter of fact, Romans chapter 12, verse 3. I'm going to tell you something. Everybody don't have the same measure of faith, whether you believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? I know necessarily that sometimes people don't want to hear that. Everybody don't have the same measure of faith. I had just told y'all the other day. Paul told you a steward must be found faithful. You know what I'm saying? You got to find yourself able to actually follow and live as Elohim requires you before you can talk about feeding somebody the word, though. But listen what he tell you, though. For I say through the favor given unto me, every man that is among you not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly according as Elohim have dealt to every man the measure of faith. Now see this right here, right? He say a man not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think. See, this goes back to when the master said, he told you to come learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart. So the master didn't think too highly of himself, even though he was the son of the living Elohim. And see, that takes you back to that's why I sit back and tell you now, niggas scream, I'm Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but you ain't Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. He didn't bring no intention to himself. Hold it, Romans chapter 12, go to Philippians 2 and 5 real fast. Then we come right on by it. Praise Yahuwah for the word. We go right on by it. Praise you, Lord, for the word. I might be tired, but I can still whip up something, though. And don't just think I'm just saying that I'm just tired, because I'm not just talking. I be in traffic, dozing off. I tell you no lie. Philippians 2:5. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Yahushua HaMashiach, who being in the form of Elohim thought it not robbery to be equal with Elohim, but made himself of no reputation, and took on him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men. Come back to Romans chapter 12. No reputation. Remember, like this here, right in 1 Chronicles, my apologies, chapter 28. He said that you would come serve him with a ready mind and a willing heart. And we still holding 1 Kings chapter 12. We coming to that by taking stuff by force. You know what I'm saying? Or really looking at ruling over this man's heritage harshly. You know what I'm saying? Because we read that there. Not ruling over them and not for filthy lucre's sake. You know what I'm saying? See, that filthy lucre's sake, that go back to the law when it's telling you about not taking bribes. Because bribes blind the eyes of the wise. See, people feel like if I give you money, or if I do this or I do that, then I can dictate to you what you can say to me. So you can't correct me if I say this to you. Because I give you this and I give you that. You know what I'm saying? That's how people feel. You know, you can't buy your way in the kingdom of Shamahin. You can buy your way to hell, though. You can't flatter your way in the kingdom of Shamahin. You can flatter your way to hell, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, before I finish reading, I'm going to read this Romans 12:3 one more time. Let me gather my thoughts, make sure I choose the right words before I speak them. You have to ask yourself, how very, very serious are you about what you profess to believe in and what you profess to serve? Because as I mentioned, your forefather Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. So he was a plain man dwelling in a tabernacle. Being plain, he didn't bring no attention to himself. And when we talk about bringing attention to yourself, this has nothing to do with your clothes that you wear, the car that you drive. You don't have a look at me, let me be seen, give me adulation type mentality and attitude that you've got to be seen for the crowd. This is why he said, how can you believe that seek honor one from another and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? You don't have to promote yourself. You end up promoting yourself into a position that you don't attain to. You end up like Korah, getting the earth swallowing you up. Because you in your pride might stand up and make a move that you ought not make and get yourself crashed. You know what I'm saying? See, because Moses had told them in the 16th chapter of Numbers, about the 28th verse, did I birth all of this people? He says, surely you will see if Yahuwah has sent me to do this, or if I done it of my own mind. Since I said that, Numbers chapter 16, verse 28. We'll come back to Romans chapter 12, since I said that. Numbers chapter 16, verse 28. Numbers chapter 16, verse 28. Make it 24, though. Numbers 16 and 24. I feel all right tonight. I hope y'all do as well. I say hallelujah. I hope y'all feel all right. I feel all right. I don't know about y'all. Speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Yasharal followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest you be consumed in all their sins. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side, and Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons and their little children. If y'all don't know, right, this what ends up happening in this situation is you've got Korah, them, and Dathan and Abiram. They mad at Moses. They feel like, nigga, who is you, nigga? We can do this and we can do that. And they were trying to cause a split. And in the trying to cause of doing this here, they had actually went against the man who Yahuwah had set up to preach the word and deliver the word. And therefore, this is why he telling all the people, you better get away from these wicked niggas, because you're going to die with these wicked niggas, and you're going to be consumed in all their transgressions if you stay running with them. This is what he's telling them. And guess who ends up dying with them? They households. That's ugly. You know what I'm talking about? And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that Yahuwah have sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then Yahuwah have not sent me. But if Yahuwah make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then you shall understand that these men have provoked Yahuwah. And it's amazingly like this here. They came at the master in the same fashion. And you know what's crazy now? Is that Yahuwah didn't speak it, but he had it spoken through the mouth of, what's this man named? Pilate's wife. That you better leave this just man alone. That y'all better get away from this man before you be consumed in the tents of these wicked men. You be consumed in all their sins if you don't separate yourself from these people. You know what I'm saying? The same type of formula. You come back to Romans chapter 12, same type of formula. But see, the thing is what Moses said. He said, Yahuwah has sent me to do these things. I haven't did them of my own mind. See, it's a lot of people, they do things and that's your own thoughts. That's what you want to do, and you trying to put it as if Yahuwah sent you to do that work. And that's why Moses said, well, we're going to know what the sign is. You're going to be able to tell if I did this on my own, or if I just went ahead and Yahuwah sent me to do it. Because I'm not going to lie to you, it's a lot of people that they preaching that the work they doing, that came out their own brain. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of shows with the work that they putting out on the street. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of watered down. You know what I mean? Definitely ain't hitting on nothing. Some niggas re-rocking. Some people doing like on American Gangster, putting the blue magic stamp on their bags, but that ain't no blue magic. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. You know what I mean? What you gonna say? Romans chapter 12, verse 3. For I say through the favor given unto me to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly according as Elohim have dealt to every man the measure of faith. That's why you sat back and look at it. It said Moses was the meekest man upon the face of the earth. Moses did not think of himself more highly than he was. Hold on, brother. Here, that's kind of off topic. That's 44 and 20. Even though Moses was the lawgiver, the deliverer, the judge, all these different offices at one time, just like Mashiach, he didn't think of himself higher than what he was. He dealt soberly according to the measure of faith that Elohim had gave him. See, everyone doesn't have the same measure of faith. That's why everyone doesn't have the same gift. And as I told you the other day, the Ruach is a gift in and of itself. You can look at Romans 6 and 23 to see that. Let's look at that, just so you can see that for yourself. Romans 6 and 23. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of Elohim is eternal life through Yahushua HaMashiach, our master. Well, John 6 and 63 says, the Ruach that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are Ruach and they are life. Hello?
Yeah, that's done.
Yeah. They Ruach and they life. The words that I speak unto you. So the Ruach itself is a gift. And then there's gifts of the Ruach. So you have to be able to understand and know the difference between the two. The Ruach is a gift. And then there are gifts of the Ruach, whether it be apostleship, whether it be prophecy, whether it be governments, whether it be tongues, whether it be miracles. All those are gifts of the Ruach and are not representative of just having the Ruach. Because you can have the Ruach and have no gift. But you can't have a gift and not have the Ruach, though, if that makes sense. You can have the Ruach and not have a gift, but you can't have a gift and not have the Ruach. Those two things do not happen. They do not go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, verse 4, for as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office. So we, being many, are one body in Mashiach, and every members one of another, having then gifts differing according to the favor that is given us. Whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith. Or ministry, let us wait on our ministry. Or he that teaching on teaching, or he that exhort on exhortation, or he that give, let him do it with simplicity, he that rule with diligence, he that show mercy with cheerfulness. Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good. Now we're gonna look at something, right? He said, let love be without dissimulation. What could he be trying to tell us of letting love be without dissimulation? And what that means is without hypocrisy, sincere and not fake. Let's look at that. Let's look at that. Who could you sit back and you could think of? Obviously Judas. Who can you sit back and look at that had a feigned love for another individual? I got somebody just came to my head that faked like he loved someone, but he didn't love them. But before we get to that, 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 2. We still hold it 1 Kings chapter 12. But I must finish my point. And Ezekiel 34. Somehow or another. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 21. Matter of fact, verse 18 or 17. Make it 16. Because Judas had feigned love. He didn't love with dissimulation. He was not sincere. See, I'm going to get to it. Because it is written, be ye Kadesh, for I am Kadesh. And if you call on Abba, who without respect of persons judge according to every man's work, pass the time of your sojourning here in fear. Excuse me. For as much as you know that you were not redeemed with corruptible things as silver and gold from your vain behavior received by tradition from your fathers, but with the precious blood of Mashiach as of a lamb without blemish and without spot, who truly was foreordained before the foundation of the world, but was manifest in these last times for you, who by him do believe in Elohim that raised him up from the dead and gave him esteem, that your faith and hope might be in Elohim. Now your faith and hope should never be in a man. That should never happen. You know what I'm saying? I've told y'all that numerous times. So you know that your faith not stand in the wisdom of men, but the power of Elohim. See, your faith and hope should stand in the word. See, we're going to deal with some of you who are willing in Psalm 68. You know what I'm saying? About those who publish the word. Because that's Yahuwah's doing to uplift and exalt them at the time where he sees fit. It has nothing to do with the people uplifting and exalting them. And that's what ends up happening, is that sometimes the people replace Elohim with the man who Elohim has supposed to be in some instances, given the word. Because some people sitting back looking at these certain people have been given the word and they don't really have it. Some get exposed for it, some don't. Some people believe that they do, some don't. You know what I'm saying? It's many, many dudes out here, you know what I'm saying? You know, Brother Tony just was talking about, you know, a particular dude who we know preached the word, who I heard preach the word. I heard this man say something very egregious that I know the book is against. You know what I'm saying? And you'll have people that have no problem with what he said. None whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? And they feel like he got the word, and Elohim is with him, and they put all their stock, lock, cock, and barrel in this individual, instead of putting all of that in the word itself. Seeing you have purified your souls in obeying the truth through the Ruach under unfeigned love of the brethren, see that you love one another with a pure heart fervently. Seeing that you done purified your soul by obeying the truth, he said you ought to have a sincere, not no fake love, but a real. See, Judas had a fake love. See, Judas was walking around this man hating on him the whole time. A whole out you. Straight up and down. Walking around with a man he know he ain't liked him the whole time. And first chance he got him murdered. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm going to tell you like this here. There was a line in the song. Styles Peter once said it. I think the song was Blackout on DMX's second album. But he made a statement that if I don't like a nigga, I don't even be bothered. You know what I'm saying? And I've always lived my life like that. If I didn't, and you know what I'm saying? And it hasn't been many people in my lifetime that I didn't like. You know what I'm saying? It was more so that if I knew if they didn't like me, then I didn't want to be around them. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't finna pretend like it's all sweet and it's all good and I know you don't like me. For whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? But there wasn't very many people in my lifetime that I genuinely say I don't like them. You know what I'm saying? But if I did not like them, I did not go around them. I didn't see any reason to go around and be around someone that I do not like. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to fake like I love you or like you and I know that I don't. You know what I'm saying? So if I show you love or around you, that means you all right with me. I don't have no problem with you. You know what I'm saying? I was also raised that we don't necessarily have problems with people. We have problems with what you do. There are some people that I've met that have supreme character flaws and we have a problem with their character. You know what I'm saying? But it's not you, it's what you do. You know what I'm saying? Because who you are is who you are. And there's not too many people who I've met where, okay, I don't like who you are. You know what I'm saying? There's some elements of people, okay, you may not like about them. But most things that are about people, they can be changed. There are very few things that about a person that can't be changed. Most stuff can be changed. Most individuals just choose not to change them. So then we got to ask ourselves, why do individuals choose not to change? They choose not to change because their hearts have been hardened. And why have their hearts been hardened? Their hearts have been hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. And through the deceitfulness of sin, you have been slaved. And what ended up being life for you has now become death because you have transgressed the word. You have transgressed the word. And now this is to your detriment and not to your betterment. I don't think we sit back and weigh those things out and as forth as individuals. I don't really think we don't. Because if we did, we would be a lot better with the decision making. You know what I'm saying? Because your life is literally on the line. So this man saying you ain't supposed to have no fake love. It's supposed to be sincere from the heart. Joshua chapter 24, Yahushua son of Nun 24 and 15, and then 1 Corinthians chapter 5. (24 and 14) actually. But I will read verse 9. You know, Will got something for y'all tomorrow. I don't know what he got, though. He got something for y'all. I still got my thing for the ladies tomorrow. Who are willing, we get that thing, the first part of that video from last week up off that Ustream, our dearly beloved sisters. Then I can take the other video off, part of the video off the camera, and drop them both at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Most High willing. Then Balak, son of Zippor, king of Moab, arose and warred against Yasharal and sent and called Balaam, the son of Beor, to curse you. But I would not hearken unto Balaam, therefore he baruched you still, so I delivered you out of his hand. And ye went over Jordan and came unto Jericho. The men of Jericho fought against you, the Amorites, the Perizzites, and the Kenites, and the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and I delivered them into your hand. And you sent the horn, and I sent the hornet before you, which drave them out from before you, even the two kings of the Amorites, but not with thy sword, nor with thy bow. And I've given you a land which you did not labor, and cities which ye built not, and you dwell in them, and of vineyards and of olive yards which ye planted not do you eat. You know, as I'm sitting there reading that, you know, that's again another example of favor, of giving a gift that you did not earn nor deserve. Because what they're sitting back looking at, right, as I'm sitting here thinking about this here, and praise the Lamb for that. We just read Romans 6 and 23. It say, well, the wages of sin is death. Right? The wages of sin is death. But the gift of eternal life is through our master, Yahushua HaMashiach. So as we look at what he's talking about, what he did to all these nations, what caused him to do that to all these nations? It was their sins. See, let's look at something as my mind is turning. And we're still holding, we good in Romans chapter 12, but we might swing back around now. But we got 1 Peter chapter 5 and Ezekiel chapter 34 and 1 Kings chapter 12. Because I may be tired, but it ain't but 9:30. I got about another hour and 45 minutes. As long as y'all don't let me fall out dead in this chair. You know what I'm saying? To kick some work out here on these streets. So let's look at something in Leviticus chapter 21. Don't pay me no mind. Most of y'all know I ain't got good sense no way. Let me make sure that's what I want. Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 20. I'm sorry, Leviticus chapter 20, verse 22. I just want you to hear what he has to say as you were killing these nations who we mentioned. You shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my judgments and do them, that the land whither I bring you to dwell therein spew you not out. You shall not walk in the manners of the nations which I cast out before you, for they committed all these abominations, and therefore I abhorred them. But I have said unto you, you shall inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that flow with milk and honey. I am Yahuwah your Elohim, which have separated you from other people. So look at the key thing of what we're sitting back looking at. The wages of sin is death. These nations were slaughtered and kicked out of this land because that was their payment for their transgressions. And then he gave you a gift, a free gift which you did not earn. And that free gift was a land which you did not labor. Let me look at that. What is that? Romans chapter 4. Come over here to Romans chapter 4. Let me read this verse 25 and 26 before I go over here to Romans chapter 4. You therefore shall put difference between clean beasts and unclean, between unclean fowls and clean. You shall not make your souls abominable by beast or by fowl or by any manner of living thing that creep on the ground, which I have separated you from you as unclean. You shall be Kadesh unto me, for I, Yahuwah, am Kadesh, and have severed you from other people that you should be mine. Now the key thing is now, as we talk about it, he coming you on the other side of the flood. And we still holding this Yahushua verse chapter 24. Because he talking about serving. See, if you can't serve Yah with a true love, because he say you feign words out of your heart. He say with your mouth you show much love, but your heart go after your covetousness. So we know that if you can't serve Yahuwah with a sincere heart, then you can't love him with a sincere heart. Ain't no way in the world you gonna love your brother with one. Because the person who I was referring to with feigned love was Saul. He had fake love for David. He didn't really love David like that. Because he spent, every time he said, oh man, you spared my life, I ain't going to kill you, he tried to kill him again. He tried to kill him again. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to sit back and you're going to say, that's what his man say, let love be without dissimulation. So when you faking love, you sinning and you going to hell. Because you seen what happened to Saul. You seen what happened to Judas. You seen that. You seen that. That's booked. So that's a transgression of the Torah. That's a transgression of the instruction. Because you're not supposed to love with this. It ain't supposed to be no fakeness. You either love them or you don't. So if you say you're going to be a Yahuwah, you're supposed to love your brother. You're supposed to love your sister. Ain't supposed to be nothing fake about that. Not about that. Where they do that at? Romans chapter 4. Make sure that's what we good in Leviticus though. Make sure Romans 4 what I got. What I want. Make sure that's what I want. You know, we gotta sit back and think about stuff. See, this is stuff, don't nobody like to talk about stuff like this or point stuff like this out. Because then that would be doing right now, wouldn't it? You'd be doing something right then. You know what I'm saying? Why do something right? That'd take a little bit of work now, wouldn't it? I'm getting old, man. That would be doing something right. And why on earth would we want to do something right? Yeah, Romans chapter 4, though. 4 and about verse 1. That's right, verse 1. Four and 1. What shall we say then that Abraham our father, as pertaining to the flesh, hath found? For if Abraham was justified by works, he had whereof to esteem, but not before Elohim. For what saith Scripture? The Scripture, Abraham believed Elohim, and it was counted to him unto him for righteousness. But to him that work not, but believe on him, now to him that work is the reward not reckoned of favor, but of debt. But to him that work not, but believe on him that justify the ungodly, his faith is counted for righteousness. You know, another place Paul say, if it be a work, then it be not a gift. Because he said you received the land which you did not labor. And this is pointing you to the favor of Yahushua HaMashiach. You ain't did nothing to get that. So that's showing you why you should make yourself of no reputation. How are you going to sit back and make yourself out to be this and make yourself out to be that when this is not a land that you labor for? You didn't do anything to get that land. The master did that work. He got up there on that stake. He got up there on that tree. That man said, it is finished. He said, Father, I finished the work which you gave me to do. I did this work to get you into this land. You didn't. Come on back to Yahushua 24. So you ain't do nothing. He said, and you dwell in cities which you built not. Say, in my father's house, there's many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you. He's saying, here comes the city of my Elohim, New Jerusalem, coming down from Shamahim. You ain't built that city. Hold on now. And then what else he told you? You dwell in them. You didn't create that Ruach HaKodesh for you to dwell in them houses. So you got vineyards and olive yards, which you didn't, that you plant, which he planted, not do you eat. Where the master was set back, he planted himself. He say, I'm the true vine. He the fruit that come off that vine. You did not plant that man in that grave to raise him up. You didn't do that. The Father had already planned that out. All you did was just execute the plan. You ain't had nothing to do with that olive yard. You ain't had nothing to do with that ruach. You didn't have nothing to do with that. But yet you were partaker of it though. So this is an example of Romans 6:23. Wages of sin is death. You see that on the nations who he drove out before you. That's why we read that Leviticus chapter 20. Because the things that they were doing, y'all hated them. So guess what you think he gonna feel about you if you doing the abominations and living after the manner of the nations? He gonna feel that way about you. He's done this to sever you from other people. That's why the gift of life is through your master, Yahushua HaMashiach. Why won't you partake in it? How you gonna partake in that and you got unsincere love for your brother? How that's gonna happen? You know, and the reason why I say this here, because, you know, I was talking to the brother, you know, he said the same thing. You know, it's funny to me because nigga acting like a real whole nigga. Ain't no other way you can put it. That's whore stuff right there. That's not manly, it's not manly behavior. You know what I'm saying? I tell y'all this all the time, man. I have never seen here in 2016, shoot, even 2015, so many feminine, weak, emotionally minded, envious, jealous men in my entire life. Makes absolutely no sense to me. I was telling Will the other day. See, jealousy and envy are akin to anger. Those are definitely two emotions you definitely want to check and don't have rocking with you. Because you know this from Cain and Abel, and you know this from with Saul, that jealousy, you know this with the master, that jealousy, you know this with Joseph, that jealousy and that envy leads to anger, and anger leads to wrath, and the wrath of man work not the righteousness of Elohim. That's what the book say. You know what I'm saying? All that sitting there thinking back, you could be, you around here jealous and envious of somebody, which can be borderline coveting, which would make you an idolater. That ain't tight. That ain't tight the least bit. That's definitely not the narrow way in a straight gate. That's definitely going to get you cut off. That's definitely going to get you damned, because those type of things foster and grow, and you will end up acting, you're going to be like Cain. Am I my brother's keeper? You're going to end up like Cain. Cain let his jealousy and envy move him to kill his brother. Reuben, Simeon, and Judah, and all the rest of them, they let their jealousy and envy of Joseph sell him into slavery. They killed the master behind their jealousy and envy. Shoot. Hashatan came at Eve to work her because of his jealousy and envy. Yeah, check that, man. That stuff there serious, man. That stuff ain't no joke. That stuff real out here. And you see death. The death got work in these situations. And this could be you, this could be your soul. Because they sitting there looking at their brother and they have fake love to their brother. They love for their brother wasn't sincere because they were mad at it. I'm talking about Joseph now. All these dreams he talking about, ain't nobody finna be bound down to him. He crazy, he tripping. They were willing to kill this man behind that. Faking like they love their brother. In his face every day smiling, know they can't stand him. You know what I'm saying? Man, that ain't 100. That ain't what real dudes do. Ain't what real dudes do. I told y'all before, I'm going to say it again. Ain't no man got no reason whatsoever being jealous of another man. Envious of another man. The minute you catch yourself being jealous and envious of another man, boy, it's time to sit back and really start assessing your life and assessing your thought patterns and how you moving. That's not supposed to happen. I thank y'all for that, man. I ain't never in my life been jealous or envious of another man. Straight up. Not at all. Not at all. For what? For what? What's the purpose of that? Why? Why? Reason why we started at Romans 12, right? About waiting on your ministry. I think we don't put that there work. That's something else I was thinking about. Let's go back to 1 Peter chapter 5, though. 1 Corinthians chapter 5. This is, I was talking to the brother, and that's the problem. You know, there's nothing wrong with wanting to preach. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you have to wait on your time. And I'm telling you this here, I'm speaking from opportunity. I ain't really from, not opportunity, but from experience. 1 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 6. You know what I'm saying? That I ain't had no, oh boy, I gotta preach. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things like this here, I could feel that things were going in that direction. I just waited though. Till it was my time to do it, if that's what he chose to do. You know what I'm saying? The lack of patience among men is very, very disturbing. Because you don't want to move too fast. You know what I'm saying? If Yahuwah going to have you to do something, he going to set it up and it's going to be right on time and you're going to do your thing. Remember the master said that to whom he that's faithful over little is faithful over much. And he that is unjust with a little is going to be unjust with much. See, sometimes you sit back and you look at why Yahuwah ain't put you here and why Yahuwah ain't put you there, is because you don't have the mental capabilities to handle that at that particular time. Because if you did, he'd allow you to have that. It'd be a lot of people in the world, they want to get married. You don't get married because you're not ready to be nobody's husband. You're not ready to be nobody's wife. You can't see and understand that. So you'll push that out your own mind because that's what you want. Some people preach the word because they want to preach the word, but you're not ready to preach the word. So you'll go push that and try that because that's out of your own mind. You know what I'm saying? You have to sit back and be careful of pushing stuff that's out your own mind, and then to comfort yourself of pushing something that you know that is out of your own mind by putting Yahuwah's name on it. Because you won't be held guiltless for that. Some of the most smallest things that we deem to be minute will be the things that cost us our life. Why? Why? Like why? This man say, I have no pleasure in the death of him that died, but that you turn yourselves and live. This man has no pleasure in you dying, so why would you die? Why? He actually asked that, why will you die, O house of Yasharal? I asked the same question your Elohim asked, why? Why would you let fakeness cost you your life? Why would you let impatience cost you your life? Why would you let stupidity cost you your life? Why? There's no reason for it. I wouldn't get no pleasure out of it. I wager nobody else who can hear the sound of my voice or know watching this will get any pleasure out of it. Of seeing someone fall and stumble. You know what I'm saying? Why? I got information today on couple things, man. I didn't feel good about hearing that. I didn't get no joy out of it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might hear me talk about certain stuff, I might laugh or that. Sometimes I do that so I don't cry. Because some stuff I be hearing, man, that stuff make you want to cry. Because it ain't even about the individual, it's about the person who were hurt by it. It's about the person who were hurt by it. This is really all it's about. It's really about them. It'd be crazy to me how sometimes people can take the person who actually been done wrong and make them feel like they doing wrong, and as if they owe an apology to somebody, and you the one did them wrong. This is how crazy this world is. I don't understand, man. 1 Corinthians 5 and 6. I just don't understand. Your esteem is not good. Know you not that a little leaven leaven the whole lump? Purge out therefore the old leaven, that you may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened, for Mashiach our Passover sacrifice. For I'm sorry, I didn't even read that verse in Joshua 24. We'll swing back to it. Therefore let us keep the feast not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. Let's go back to Joshua, Yahushua, right? And let's look at the 5th chapter before we look at the 24th chapter. He said, let us purge out the old leaven, and let us eat the new leaven of sincerity and truth. No fakeness. You know, when you sincere, it's genuine. You ask yourself, do people see genuineness from you? Authenticity, I should say. You can tell genuine people. Genuine people, they are who they are. They're not this way around this person or this way around that person. They're the same all the time. If they like you, their liking for you is genuine. If they have love for you, their love for you is genuine. And it's, to be honest with you, it's not many genuine people left on this planet. It ain't. It really ain't. And it's sad. Joshua chapter 5, though. Verse 10. And the children of Yasharal encamped in Gilgal and kept the Passover the 14th day of the month at even in the plains of Jericho. And they did eat of the old corn of the land on the morrow after the Passover, unleavened cakes and parched corn the same day. And the manna ceased on the morrow after they had eaten of the old corn of the land. Neither had the children of Yasharal manna any more, but they did eat the fruit of the land of Canaan that year. Well, he say the old corn. He said they ate the fruit of the land. They ate new wine or new fruit, new grapes, new all of that. And we just sat back and look at, purge out the old leaven and make yourself a new lump. That's why he said you purified your soul to the obeying of the truth for unfeigned love of the brethren. Well, we look at what goes on Passover according to the scriptures. And we know that the master showed unfeigned love by laying his life down for you, for the brethren. See, I'm not done with this particular matter because he got me going a different direction than I intended.